Hey, how are you doing? This is 419 CCW. I'm back today with another review for you. This review is of the Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 5-inch FDE 9mm handgun, as you can see here. I bought this a couple of months ago from Buzz Gun Shop online. I paid $517 for it. Now this is a little different than your standard firearm that you'll buy from the store. I added some extra features for it. And what I did before I even picked the gun up is I bought combination fiber optic sights and night sights. These are made by TruGlo. And I bought an Apex trigger. The reason being, most standard M&P triggers kind of suck. They have improved with the 2.0s. I hear the trigger's better, but it's still a little thin curved trigger with the little hook, and I didn't want that. I like Apex triggers better, so that's why I wanted to have that installed. So as soon as I picked this up from the FFL, I walked over to the other counter where they do the gunsmithing and asked them to install my sights and my Apex trigger. But let me tell you, if you do that, if you buy an Apex trigger to have installed in your gun, and you go to the gunsmith, make sure you ask them if they've ever done it before. If they have not, go somewhere where they have. The guy that I went to, a young guy, unfortunately, I don't think he's ever done one before. I didn't ask. I didn't think they would not know how to put on an Apex trigger. He didn't. He had my gun for about a week. He kept calling me saying he was having problems resetting the trigger. So I finally asked him to speak to a manager, and I said, look, this gun is brand new. I just bought it. Haven't even walked out your door yet. This guy's had my gun for over a week. If he doesn't know what he's doing, let me know. I'll pick up my gun and I'll take it to someone that knows what they're doing. So she said, well, we have another guy that we send guns out to, and he knows what he's doing. He has more experience. I said, cool. He should have done that before, but okay. So it took about 2 weeks for me to get my gun, right? So I finally got it, and I'm happy. Now, one other thing I did, you might notice, is as far as the lettering, it's a gold inlay. I did that myself. You can watch YouTube videos on that. It's a very subtle gold color. I just thought it might bring the color out a little bit, so that's different if you're asking. Like, if something's looking different, that's probably what it is. So this, Apex, that, okay? And of course, this laser, this is an O-light combination, green laser and flashlight. Now, the reason I bought this is because of the safety. I wanted a gun with a safety because this is for my nightstand or my drawer. Now, I usually use this. This is a Smith & Wesson M&P 4.25 inch barrel 9mm, but I have to keep it in the holster because it doesn't have a safety. But this is my everyday carry for the fall and winter time because it's full size. I have a smaller gun for the spring and summer. So this is my everyday carry. It doesn't have a safety because I don't need one. I keep it in the holster, in a IWB holster in the waistband, right? Now let me tell you about this gun real quick. I bought this in 2013. I paid almost $700, and the reason is because this one has the built-in laser. You turn this on, so if your hand touches this button, I didn't turn it on, hold on. Okay, so when you touch the grip, the laser comes on, see? But let me tell you what sucks about that. If you holding the gun the way you're supposed to, because remember, if you're not touching the trigger, your finger's supposed to rest on the slide. But if you do that, you're blocking the laser. So I always have to remember when I use this firearm and I'm using the laser, I have to hold my finger like this. But it's not natural for me because I usually hold my finger there, right? So that kind of sucks. But I still love this gun. Like I said, never had one failure to feed ever. Never had any problems with it. Smooth. Trust this with my life, obviously, because I carry it every day. So this is a great gun. But it doesn't have a safety. I keep it in holster. So to save time from the holster, if something's going down in my household, I got this. Don't need a holster. Flip off the safety, right? If it's nighttime, it's dark, I grab something, I don't want to accidentally grab the trigger. So that's why I wanted a safety on it. And I also wanted a reason to buy a new gun, to be honest with you. So this is kind of cool. Now, this right here, the texture, some people, you hear a lot of people talking about this. Some like it, some don't. Some say it's overly aggressive. It is very aggressive. It does feel like sandpaper, but it does not feel bad in my hand at all. It makes me feel like I'm not gonna drop it. That's what it feels like. You have a good solid grip on it. It feels good to me. It does feel like sandpaper, but it does not feel bad. Like say as compared to holding this, if I can get it off the stand, it's smooth. You can't really even feel the texture on this. Smooth. Not smooth, sandpaper. But they both shoot great. I took them to the range today and I love them. Now this one also put on a Apex trigger. It has an Apex trigger as well. So it's not a natural Smith & Wesson. And I did put night sights. These are not fiber optic. These are just night sights. .25 versus 5-inch barrel. So I took these both to the range today and I love them. I love them both. They both shoot great, comfortable. Like I said, as far as the texture of this, didn't bother me at all. The sights worked really well, showed up good when I was shooting the target. I only shot the target from about like 25 feet because if you're in a self-defense situation, I don't think you should be any further from a person than anyway, right? If somebody's coming up on you or trying something and you need to use self-defense, isn't usually within 25 feet. So that's where my target was. And I was hitting the target pretty good. If I had to choose between the two, they both felt good to me. I really couldn't really tell much of a difference. They both shot well. Very comfortable. It felt like this one had a little more flip to it, muzzle flip, than this one. I think this one seemed a little more smooth to me than this one. In my opinion, it felt like when I was shooting this, the muzzle was riding up a little higher. I don't know if it's because it's the first time I'm shooting it or whatnot, but with this one, I felt a little more on target. But it might just be because I've had this gun since, like I said, 2013, so I'm used to shooting it. So I did feel more comfortable shooting this. But this shot great. I mean, I love shooting it. I'm glad I put some rounds through it. Let's say I bought 100 rounds. So I probably put about 17, just one magazine in this. And in this one I shot 2 magazines, 17 rounds. Now it came with 2 magazines, but I bought a third one, an extra one. But it did come with 2 magazines. So overall, I'm very happy with it. I love the way it shoots. I love the way it looks. The safety feature is good. Now, this is a long gun, being a 5-inch barrel. So would I carry this? You could. In fact, I did buy a holster for it. I should have brought it downstairs. I'm sorry, but I didn't bring it with me. I did buy a holster for it, but I don't really think I'm going to be carrying this because it is so long. And I carry IWB. I did buy a vest so I can carry it outside the waistband, but it seems a little big. So I think I'm going to stick with this as far as carrying when I'm going out. I'm going to stick with Old Faithful. But if I needed to carry this, I could. There's nothing wrong with carrying it. It's only a little bit longer. It's not that much of a difference. So what are your thoughts? What do you think? Do you like the new school? Or do you like the old school? And that's my review. Now I did shoot it. Like I said, I shot it tonight at the range. Loved it. I'm gonna show you some video on that. So I hope you like it. I'm gonna have some more guns for you to see. And until next time, talk to you later. Have a good evening.